come with me if you want to live. And just like that, welcome to Phuket, Thailand. Now we're almost in March 2025, and I wanted to show you guys just how amazing this city is and give you tips as well for when you decide to come stay in Thailand. My personal main mode of transportation was scooters, but you can also walk. Although do take in mind that the different neighborhoods are kind of spaced out, so a little far from each other, and the scooters tend to use the sidewalks a lot. So keep that in mind. You can also take the famous tuk-tuks, which can look different depending on where exactly you are on the island. But I enjoyed this specific tuk-tuk because I could just sit back and vibe to my own music the whole ride. I came to Thailand for my passion of Muay Thai, and as you can see, I truly enjoyed it. But I fell in love with the infinite beautiful sunsets and the many beaches here. From Nairhon Beach to Rawai Beach to Yanui Beach to Kamala Beach. I just enjoyed going to the beach and just either sit down or go for a swim or take a walk. But there's more to Phuket than that. You have the beautiful elephants. I've never been so up close and personal. It was just nice seeing them bathing, feeding them, just seeing them walking around in their own habitat, unbothered. Beautiful. And when the sun falls down, you can find the many night markets to just wander around, find food or find something to buy. Or just go for a stroll. And let's not forget about Thai food. And I'm a night owl, so I gotta enjoy some nightlife, and where best to go than Patong. But sometimes you just gotta smoke some weed and just sit back and relax. There are so many weed shops around Phuket. And you've got to enjoy the Thai massage as well. And they're everywhere. But also with living here, you also have to do certain things too, like grocery shopping. This is where I get most of my fruits and a few other items. And I'll list them here so you guys get a better understanding of just what the cost of living is like in Phuket. I will say this might be the most safe city I've ever stepped foot in. Even walking late at night at like 2 a.m., it feels like I'm walking in broad daylight. Whether you go to Tops or 7-Eleven, you'll find a lot of ATMs, and the fee for each transactions for the whole time I've been here has been 220 baht. I like to go to Tops, but I also like to go to 7-Eleven if I want to get certain things. Sometimes you don't want to cook, you don't feel like cooking, or you don't even feel like going out to eat. I'm also going to talk about the different neighborhoods I stayed in Phuket just to help you get a better sense of where you should book your accommodation. And starting with Rawai, which is hands down my favorite place I stayed in. And it's for a reason like this, because you get to wake up with nice, beautiful, lush greenery around you. And as a bonus, the stray dogs in the neighborhood will provide you security at no cost. Rawai is also where my favorite smoothie spot is, JJ Cafe. This is where I come and I get my nice papaya smoothie, sit back and enjoy it. Perfect after a long day of training Muay Thai. You can also walk around and find these huge lizards in the river. For me, the pros of staying in Rawai are it's a very laid back spot. There are lots of small businesses around. It's very walkable. There's a good nightlife. And don't quote me on this, but Rawai might have the most beaches in Phuket. Someone look it up. When it comes to the cons of staying in Rawai, I would say one is that it takes more than 1 hour to get to the Bang Tao area. It takes you 40 to 50 minutes to get to Old Town and Phuket Town. Now keep in mind that those numbers might increase during busy season, which starts more or less in January. But in other cons, I would say that one-bedroom accommodations go fast, super fast. So try to book your stay at least 2 months in advance. But yeah, pretty cool spot, right? But let's move on to the next spot, which is Chalong. Now right away you can see the view is different, more buildings around, but you're still able to catch some beautiful sunsets with the beautiful mountains in the background. I also celebrated the 2025 New Year while I was living in Chalong. There is also the pier nearby. I was able to take a nice boat trip which took us around to the other islands around and took us swimming. They provided food for us on board. Very nice experience. Thing I really hated with Chalong is that traffic is horrendous most of the day. And like I was saying at the beginning of the video, you can't always walk everywhere, and with Chalong there's not really walkability because a lot of the time the scooters will be using the sidewalks. They're not trying to run you over, so if they see you on the sidewalks, they're going to get off. But something to take in mind. For me, the pros of Chalong are that it's close to the pier and that it has the larger grocery stores compared to Rawai. But when it comes to the cons, I would say there's not much nightlife compared to Rawai, Kata, and Patong. It's not really walkable, honestly. There is almost always traffic during the day, but late at night, around like 11, midnight, there is none. And not many options for beaches. So let's move from there and go a little bit further up to Phuket City, Phuket Town. Right away, I'll say this is also another spot that is really not walkable. But this is where you find the Central Phuket Mall. And this statue captured my attention the first time I saw it. But this is a very big and nice mall. This is where you find most of the big stores that you need to go to. And you can also find a lot of activities to do in Phuket, such as go-karting. And while we're in this part of town, we might as well go to Old Town Phuket, where you get to see some nice, beautiful cars. I love walking around Old Phuket. It's such a stylish little neighborhood. It's not very big, it's its own little bubble, but it's a pretty stylish little bubble. You get to see a lot of nice architecture, there are a lot of shops, bars around, and one of my favorites, some nice street art. I feel like that's one of the best parts of walking around, to just enjoy some street art. The architecture is very pretty as well, very different from the rest of Phuket with a lot of colors. And yeah, a lot of shopping around, shopping for clothes, shopping for art, shopping for souvenirs, and also this. Maybe I might find an occasion to wear it. Phuket City was actually the very first place I stayed in, and I would say the pros of staying there are that the Central Mall is located here, there are lots to do, and because it's centrally located, it's at an even distance from places like Bang Tao, Rawai, Kata, Old Town Phuket, very good distance. And when it comes to the count of Phuket City, it's not many. I would say the fact that it's not walkable and that really there's not many options for beaches in the area. Now if you head a little bit west, you'll be ending up in Kata, which is a neighborhood I actually enjoy very much. It's busy, but it's also very walkable. There's a nice vibrant nightlife, there's a nice amount of things to do, lots of shops, lots of restaurants, and also nice beaches, Karon Beach and Kata Beach. Kata is also where I got addicted to the rolled ice cream. and I just kept finding an excuse to come back to Kata so I can eat some more. You gotta try it. I 100% recommend it. It will change your life. Now, when it comes to the pros of Kata, Karon, I would say is the fact that it's walkable. There are lots of businesses and restaurants. There's a very vibrant nightlife. And like I said, nice beaches. The busy road and sidewalks can be annoying, and it can get quite noisy. But I will say I did not stay in Kata, although I really enjoyed going there, and I went there quite a few times. I also did not stay in Bangtao and Kamala, but based on the few times I've been there, I can see that there are very nice beaches. It's very laid back in a similar way to Rawai. It's also pretty walkable, especially Bangtao. And it's close to Patong if you want to go to Patong for the nightlife or even go to Patong for Patong Beach. And when it comes to the cons of Bangtao and Kamala, I would say one of the main ones is just like Rawai, it takes more than 1 hour to get to Rawai. And again, during busy season, those numbers will probably increase. One thing I will say though, and especially with Bangtao, I felt they were not as developed as Rawai, Kata when it comes to the nightlife and the amount of things to do. A lot of the activities I ended up doing, none of them involved going all the way to Kamala or Bangtao. And that's it. Your tour of Thailand has now concluded, and I will let you enjoy a nice nighttime ride on the scooter as I did many times, and I will see you on the next video. What is the next location, you asked? Well, to be continued.